Bueno, pues hoy volvemos donde lo habíamos dejado con Sherlock Holmes. Esta vez me he asegurado de bajar el volumen del juego porque si no he visto que se escuchaba fatal mi voz. Lo he bajado bastante porque es que si no te petan los oídos. Así que, bueno, si alguien lo quiere escuchar más fuerte, pues que suba el volumen. Yo, si no, no puedo grabarlo bien. Así que vamos con nuestro caso ferroviario, creo. Sí, el misterio ferroviario.
This trip to the countryside will be good for you, Holmes.
Hmm.
As your friend and your doctor, I really do recommend that you give yourself a complete change of scene. Fresh air, brisk walks, bird watching, chopping wood.
Sounds intolerable. I mean, certainly it sounds delightful.
But you haven't yet told me who your friend is, the one we're going to visit.
He is a bee lover.
A bee lover? Do you mean that he keeps bees? That must be Mrs. Hudson, bringing the warm cloth that I requested.
There is someone to see you, Mr. Holmes.
I have no time. Send whoever it is away.
Yes, Holmes, I really think we ought to leave now.
Lestrade,
Mycroft.
casi.
Sherlock.
Oh, Mr. Holmes? Perhaps you don't remember me. I'm Dr. Watson. We met at the Diogenes Club a few years ago. I documented our encounter in a short story I gave the title The Greek Interpreter.
He does remember you, Watson. My brother remembers everything, and that is why he is so valuable to the government.
We are about to depart for the train station.
I know.
You know?
Sherlock, I need your help. There are people who presently threaten both our country and the crown itself. You must help us with those methods of yours.
Need help. Those are not words I would readily associate with you, Mycroft.
I wrote you a letter, but you did not reply. And this is not about politics. It's about people. People similar to those whom you pretend to defend in your petty detective affairs.
Everything is about politics with you, Mycroft. I'm not interested. Have some of your agents, your spies, or worse, undertake this job of yours. You are defending your people, and they have little to do with the people I choose to help, I can assure you.
That is the point. You think exactly as they do.
Who are they?
The Merry Men. He is talking about the Merry Men, a band of idealistic terrorists.
Sherlock, do please think about it. They are planning something diabolical. Your country needs you.
You need me, Mycroft, and you are not the country. Although if your waistline expands very much further...
Mrs. Hudson, tea will not be necessary. Dr. Watson, the train conductor, Mr. Parker, is aware that you will be 7 minutes late. You are in the 4th car. The train will be waiting for you. Sherlock, enjoy your time in Staffordshire. And do, please, at least write to me on your return.
Pues nada, coger el tren. Bueno, primero hablar con el perro.
Look after Mrs. Hudson for us, Toby.
Esta mujer vive ahí todo el día.
Holmes, please call a cab while I pack my suitcase. We shall be late for the train.
No, aún no has hecho la maleta.
Watson, I'll hold a cab for us. We leave in 5 minutes for the station.
Te lo digo hablando a la puerta.
What a gloomy night. It was warmer inside the waiting hall.
Since the station master told us that the train is about to arrive, we should not have to wait very much longer.
Yes, at last.
Attention! The train is arriving at the station. Please stand well away from the platform edge.
I'll take your bags and your blasted archive suitcase.
Así nada.
But, Holmes, the headlight. It's faded away.
Something is wrong. I can't hear any sound from the incoming train.
Excuse me, sir. Can you explain what has happened?
I don't know. It's as if the train vanished into thin air.
Holmes, say something.
Quick, fetch a lantern and let us take a look.
Y de la estación en plan, sí, haced lo que
It's
queráis.
too dark. Only fog and rails, nothing else.
There is no use in stumbling around here at night. We will come back tomorrow.
A la mañana siguiente, temprano, tal que a las 12.
Well, here we are again at Evesham Station. We have a full day ahead. Let us begin our investigation.
Resolver el misterio del tren desaparecido. Examinar las vías donde desapareció el tren. Una estación de trenes a horas intempestivas, un tren a punto de llegar, un misterio indescifrable. El regreso de Holmes y Watson de sus vacaciones se convierte en una historia de intrigas. Mira, aquí tengo lo del anterior. Ay, me quedo con el arpón.
What should we do next, Holmes?
La mujer no lo querrá, supongo. Aquí poca cosa hay.
First of all, let us examine the area where the train disappeared.
Tiene sentido. Es que mirad cómo corre, en serio. Ah, este hombre no corre, el otro. Watson, corre, ¿eh? El talento de imaginación te ayuda a visualizar objetos y eventos. Es útil en algunas ocasiones. Por ejemplo, aquí que ha desaparecido un tren.
This is the place where we saw the train vanish last night.
Tendrá tu atención a encontrar detalles que otros suelen pasar por alto. Ay, ay, no, pues ya estaba bien.
Railway sleepers, nothing unusual.
Tío, aquí.
A discarded item,
No,
possibly thrown from the train.
que no me dejaba moverme. Aquí.
There are no tracks or footprints on the ground.
Vaya que... Aquí.
The rails have not been touched. There's nothing unusual here.
Pues no hay nada más. Ha hecho un teleporte.
There are no signs to indicate that the train ran off the track, nor are there any other traces. There is nothing whatsoever. There are no clues. But then, a negative result is also a result.
Oh, I
Muy
see
malo.
what you're getting at. No clues and you're smiling.
Yes, Watson, I do smile on occasion. This mystery appears very promising. This investigation won't be simple. We shall require a map of the region.
Perhaps the station master could lend us one.
Vamos a verlo. Mira, señor, necesito un mapa. ¿Está aquí el hombre? No. Ah, no, pero yo me meto aquí.
A new telegram.
I think we should meet this Mr. Robinson.
Mensaje a todas las estaciones. El señor Robinson se encuentra en la estación de Bridlington. Oh, muy bien. Composición del tren.
Here is the train set.
Lo normal. Locomotora, vagón. Lo que suele tener
A
un tren.
telegraph.
Telégrafo. A ver. Ah, el hombre. Pensaba que era una maleta.
Good morning. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
Yes, I remember you. I'm Station Master Everett. You were here last night. So, you are Mr. Holmes, the great detective. Will you be investigating what happened?
I shall indeed.
It is extraordinary that an entire train could disappear like that. And to think of all the poor people inside it, the passengers, the driver.
Hombre, pues sí. Vale, gracias. A ver. Bueno, tiene una cara al pobre de no haber dormido demasiado. Bueno, pelo cano. Pues tiene su edad, tampoco. ¿El reloj? ¿No te interesa? Está casado. Información sobre el tren.
Could you please give us any details about the train?
Well, there was nothing so very special about it. At least not that I can recall. My memory's not what it used to be. However, if you need it, you can have the train composition report.
No, ya lo he
It's
cogido,
inside
tranquilo.
my office.
According to the train composition report, there was a special wagon. What does that entail?
That's a highly secure car, ordered by a private party. It is generally to carry something of value. Those wagons have iron walls, you know, without any windows, and they're fitted with a complex key lock.
That is important information. Do you know what was inside this particular wagon?
Certainly not. No, that's private, and it's not my responsibility to allot the wagons to whoever.
El mapa.
I would be glad to have a detailed map of the local railway district.
But of course, please, take the one that's pinned inside the waiting hall.
See you later, my good man.
The entire train has disappeared.
Railway post bags.
Me lo ha dado, el mapa. Si no, yo lo robo,
This map will be useful.
Pues lo robo yo. Se lo puedo ir a Ifsham, que es donde estoy. No, para allá. Ay, pues no, para allá no. Watson, me haces body block. Muévete. Watson.
The whole
Joder.
train just disappeared. It's unbelievable.
Ven, Watson, ven, ven. Anda, guapo, ven, ven para acá. Watson, eres inútil. Gracias. Adiós, Watson. Montón de basura.
An old locomotive bell. This part is probably from a locomotive. This place serves as a storage area for the station.
Hombre, eso lo podías ver.
This part is probably from a locomotive.
¿Puedo ir a algún sitio? Es que no hay nadie aquí. Solo está el muchacho este. Mira, ya puedo hablar con él.
Was there anything exceptional about any of the passengers aboard the train?
What do you mean? Like officials? I wouldn't know. Oh, but now that you mention it, yes, there was something. There was a message from Bridlington station saying that the train had been delayed because of an issue with the passengers. What kind of problem that they didn't say?
That is interesting. You mentioned a problem at Bridlington Station. I should like to visit this station. Could you mark it on the local map?
Of course. It's a suburban railway station. You might take
Me da
a
igual,
cab there.
que las señales. Ya está.
See you later, my good man.
Vale. Pues para acá. ¿Dónde pasa el tren? Ah, por ahí.
Railway post bags.
No hay gente. ¿Por qué das toda la vuelta? Uy, guacho.
This is an absolute scandal. It's always the same with these rail companies. No respect for the customer.
Parece el del anterior, que parecía un niño que ya ha crecido ya. Bueno, que era un niño. Tenía el bigote ese horrible. ¿Esto es ropa de trabajo? Esto es ropa de trabajo. Y el pasta.
Please calm down, sir. What is your concern?
Concern? What is my concern? I'll tell you what my concern is. Last night I were on the train as usual with my colleague, heading home. Then along came this ridiculous ticket inspector, who started arguing that our tickets were invalid.
Pues
He made
mejor.
us get off the train, and he was extremely rude about it.
Were you aboard the train that vanished last night?
Yes, I heard that it disappeared. But I don't care because we would have stopped before then anyway. Our tickets were valid and no doubt about it. And then, to top it all, the ticket inspector pushed everyone else out too, except for a bunch of rich. Well, because their type don't need a ticket.
Interesante.
Can you recall anything more specific about this fortunate group?
Well, yes. They were all foreigners. Spanish-looking toffs with snake eyes.
Españoles somos malos.
Goodbye, sir. Good day to you, sir.
Good day. To whom am I speaking?
My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is...
Are you a representative of this damned railway company? Because I have a complaint.
We are not from the railway company. We are...
Well, in that case, Mr. Shamrock Flomes, please excuse me, but I'm not in the mood for idle chit-chat at the moment.
Pues me parece muy bien. Sombrero australiano. Yo esta ropa la veo igual que la anterior, ¿eh? La maleta. ¿Te interesa la maleta? O este es gente de pasta.
You must be Mr. Robinson, is that correct?
Yes?
I am leading the investigation of the disappearing train. It would help if you could answer my questions.
Ah, well, all right. I have nothing to hide.
Vagón
I presume
especial.
it was you who placed the order for the special wagon.
Yes. It was to transport my valuable prototype safely to London. My prototype is a revolutionary device. It is capable of producing electricity. I'm a businessman and an engineer. I had already found several potential customers for my invention. But I was very optimistic about the directors' board who were travelling on the train last night.
¿Iba usted en el tren? Hombre, y si no se bajó antes.
Mr. Robinson, could you please clarify? Were you traveling alongside your prototype?
Yes, I was. But I had to step off the train. And all because of this stupid station master.
Que me
I
hablo con
received a
este.
telegram declaring that an important person and Mr. Bromsby wished to see you in the waiting room. I merely informed you of this.
Mr. Bromsby is a wealthy gentleman. His interest in my invention was truly unexpected. So yes, of course, I agreed to see him. Unfortunately, he wasn't there. I thought perhaps he might have been delayed, so I chose to wait a while. But despite my requests, the train left the station without me.
No te va a esperar a ti.
Absolutely unacceptable.
The timetable is strict. We cannot wait any longer. The regulations require the train to be on time.
You are an idiot. You will pay for it. I will sue you.
Ojalá este fuese el asesino. Bueno, asesino, culpable.
You mentioned a director's board. Which company do they own?
The Chilean Barcazes Company. I had made an appointment with them. Now they are lost, along with the train and my prototype.
What do you know about the Barcazes company?
It's a large South American company. They showed a great deal of interest in my prototype, and they seemed wealthy enough to do business with.
This revolutionary machine of yours, was it very valuable?
For God's sake, sir, it is priceless. It could change the world we live in. And yet, I was selling it for almost nothing. I am a humanitarian, you see. I do not know if I will ever be able to get over this disaster. I cannot believe that it disappeared with that damn train.
The ticket inspector forced all the passengers from the train except for the directors of the Barcazes Chilean company.
Pégate más, Watson, pégate más si quieres. El tren desaparece con gente sin rastro del tren, no tiene nada que ver. Accidente, los chilenos permanecieron en el tren por casualidad. No, chilenos abandonados. Fueron abandonados intencionadamente, el revisor obligó a apearse a todos los pasajeros menos a los chilenos. Vagón especial... Bueno, no tiene nada que ver. Porque si no sería un tanto extraño. Fue con el suelo, hoja de papel.
The insurance policy for Robinson's machine. A significant sum.
Pues no, no es mucho, supongo.
A telegraph.
Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you?
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I am investigating the unfortunate disappearance of last night's train.
I see. I'm Station Master Bertram, but my supervisor has not informed me about this. I do not know if...
Do not worry. I have only a few questions.
Está nuevo, ¿no?
Station Master Everett from Evesham told us that you reported a problem with some passengers last night.
Indeed. This train is a regular line for those who work at Nottingham. But yesterday, everyone was asked to get off the train here at my station. I've no idea why, and it delayed the train. But the worst of it is that now I have to deal with two furious passengers who are complaining about the company's service. They stayed here the whole night, but people do not usually pay much attention to the regulations, you see. There are very strict and clear rules. Paragraph 234 of Article 2G-43 states that in the event of a complaint, you must...
Yes, thank you. I understand.
Madre de Dios. Joven, ¿ves lo que yo te digo? Este nuevo.
Apart from the passengers disembarking, did you notice anything else that was unusual last night?
I did, and I mentioned it in my report to our higher management on the matter.
What was it?
Sorry, but I can't tell you. The station master's reports are confidential.
Confidential, you say? How long have you been working here?
I've worked here long enough to be quite capable of managing a railway station.
A ver, hijo.
Let me speak frankly, Mr. Bertram. Your age and your lack of confidence in your position are quite apparent. You cannot deny that you have only recently completed your studies.
I was at the top of my class.
Listen here, young man. I am aware that you wish to protect yourself behind all these regulations, but I represent the law.
And you are obstructing the investigation of an important case. I would suggest that you cooperate with Mr. Holmes. Think of your career.
Madre mía, el Watson aquí, de la mafia.
Well, I'll tell you everything. First of all, I scolded the ticket inspector, for it was he who asked the passengers to leave the train. It was not his right to do so. He was very rude. And then, later on, I received a most peculiar telegram from my colleague at Chesterfield Station, the next stop along the line.
What did the telegram say?
Well, that was the peculiar thing. It was almost unreadable. It was full of errors and awfully vague. It was hard to understand if the train had correctly passed that station or not. You can read it for yourself.
A ver.
We ought to visit Chesterfield Station. We need to confirm if the station master saw the train or not.
Tren N llegó a Salo y... Oh, muy bien. Vale, tengo que hablar con el de Chesterfield. Eso tengo que hablarlo con el majo ese. A ver. A ver.
According to this document, you have insurance for your prototype.
Oh, thank God. Where did you find it?
Near the telegraph station.
I must have lost it when I tried to send a message, which I was prevented from doing.
I apologise for that, but regulations state that public access to the telegraph is strictly prohibited.
Upon my word, you keep on digging that hole of yours. You have no idea who I am.
I see that you kept your gripsack with you. Why don't you leave it in the luggage room?
I've had other things to think about. I lost my prototype, and this idiot station master just stands here doing nothing to help.
Oh, but...
Well, that won't do at all. Station master, I believe that the regulations state that any passenger luggage should be taken to the luggage room.
I'll do it right away, sir. Sorry, sir.
Vamos a
This
robarle.
Robinson is quite a character. We should learn more about him.
Vamos a robarle, Watson. Aquí.
This gripsack.
I think we should open it, Holmes. This is what they call force majeure.
Vigilaré.
Of course.
Ay, Dios santo. Qué martirio, tú. Aquí. Vale. Esto sí. Esto sí, entiendo. Este así. Qué bien se me da. Papeles de trabajo.
Look, Watson, a bundle of contracts. Very suspicious. We should study them carefully. An exclusive sales contract. Mr. Robinson is the seller.
¿Y qué más quieres que te diga?
Yet another exclusive sales contract. Mr. Robinson is the seller.
Uy, este. Se lo vendía a Tokiski.
Yet another exclusive sales contract. Mr. Robinson is the seller. Yet another exclusive sales contract. Mr. Robinson is the seller.
A 4.
Well, it is very clear that this Mr. Robinson received prepayments from various people for his machine.
Sospechoso. Móvil de Robinson. La pérdida del prototipo hará que el señor Robinson gane mucho dinero fácil, gracias al seguro y a múltiples contratos fraudulentos. Oh. Robinson es una víctima. La pérdida del prototipo supone un desastre para el señor Robinson. Aunque ha planeado su fraude, ha perdido mucho más de lo que podría recuperar. La póliza de seguros no cubre el coste total del prototipo. No cubrió un 50% y ponía un 10% de no sé qué resto. Así que yo creo que es una víctima. Creo. Pero vamos a hablar con él. A ver. ¿Qué me cuenta? Ah, no, aquí no es. Mira, el señor Watson ya va directo.
I will not move from here
Pues no hables
until I
conmigo.
receive my refund.
Ah, espera, creo que hay un sitio donde no he ido. ¿Aquí? ¿O es que no puedo? Ah, no puedo. Pues vamos a Chesterfield. Mm, Anuncio de pesca.
Fishing advertisement.
Hijo.
This bin is full of empty bottles.
Uy, que este se emborrachó.
A telegraph.
Alfabeto Morse.
I had thought that all station masters knew the Morse code, but apparently not.
Este va bien. A ver, ¿cómo decírtelo?
How could he fall asleep at work like this? Excuse me, sir. Wake up. Ah, his breath. He must have swallowed half a distillery.
And that explains the how.
By his sleeping off the alcohol, you mean? Wake up, please,
Huh.
sir.
What? The 18 hours 72 train has arrived?
Good day to you. We are investigating the disappearance of last night's train, and we should like to ask you a few questions.
Pues este poco te va a contestar.
Were there any passengers who got off that particular train at your station last night?
No, nobody, it seems to me. Although I did not leave my office, so...
No doubt you were very busy.
You don't say. You can't ever get any peace around here. Now you have to send a telegram each time a train arrives and departs.
Sí, sí, se te ve preparado. ¿Qué ha pasado? Un petaca. Hilo de pescar.
Station Master Bertram from Bridlington showed me a strange telegram that he received from you last night. It concerned the train, but it was barely comprehensible.
What? He's a fastidious little twerp, that Bertram. I
Borracho.
remember everything quite clearly. It was late, and I was tired, but I did my work. So what? There's no need to be so petty.
Embriaguez.
You were not tired, you were inebriated. Tell me the truth now, or I shall not hesitate to document your state in my report.
My friend means that you will end up by being sacked from your position.
All right. So I was drunk. I don't remember all of yesterday, to be truthful to you. Please don't go harsh on me.
Holmes, this man has consumed a considerable amount of alcohol. He's not entirely helpless yet, but...
It will not be long before he is. Obviously, his testimony cannot be trusted.
Bueno. El tren pasó por la estación de Chesterfield a pesar de que no estuviéramos seguros de que informara de ello. Me parece más probable esto. Bueno, le dejo con su petaca. Aquí había algo. Ah, no. No hay nada.
Locked. There is no sense in asking the station master to open it.
¿Cómo se fuerza? Ah, ¿cómo no? Todo tiene el mismo sistema, tú. Eso tiene pinta de ir aquí. ¡Qué velocidad!
These tools were used quite recently. They are still muddy. We should ask about them.
Las podrían haber limpiado.
Railway post bags.
Uy, es que se me mete el ratón ahí.
Bags were recently dragged here. French wine, a remarkable vintage. These bottles are too expensive for a station master's wage. They were likely taken from the
Encima
parcels.
robando.
Shameful.
Bueno, se va entera. No era por aquí.
You have quite a number of dirty tools lying around here.
Ah, yes. Well, thank you for reminding me. I should clean them. Although, might be easier to put them outside. Seems it might start raining soon.
Ponte tú
I
también.
meant, what were they used for?
Some workers come here and borrowed them from me. They wanted to lift the edge of the railway to one of the stations on the line, so that the water wouldn't come in too close.
Who were these workers?
Well, they didn't seem to be from the company, but they was fine lads. They invited me to share a drink. And whatever it was, it had a kick to it. They wasn't English. No, I don't believe so. But see, they knew just what a man needed to brighten up his dull evening.
No eran ingleses. ¿Qué tengo? Estoy en Chesterfield, ¿no? Sí, estoy en Chesterfield. ¿Qué más tengo que mirar? Mm,
A handcar wheelbase. Interesting. It appears that elements of the same construction were scattered everywhere. Watson, please tell me, do you believe in magic?
Of course not, Holmes.
Then you are of the opinion that a train cannot simply disappear.
Well, we both know that that is obvious. Why are you asking such peculiar
y
questions?
para ver si eres tonto.
A little patience, Watson. You will understand my point quite soon. So, are you quite certain that you saw the train at Evesham Station?
Yes, of course. We saw it coming. The headlights, and heard the whistle.
But that is it. We didn't see the train itself.
But... Oh, Holmes, I'm a little confused.
Espérate, Watson. Espérate. Tarea. Experimento del tren falso. La dresina desmantelada parece que está directamente relacionada con nuestro misterio. Hay que reconstruirla para comprobar si puede pasar por el tren desaparecido. Ahora la reconstruyo. A ver. ¿Qué tengo que hacer? Engranaje pequeño. ¿Hasta dónde va?
I should use the appropriate...
Chico, espérate.
I should...
Porque esto va para largo.
I should...
Palanca, estoy aquí arriba. Quiero otra rueda, ¿eh?
I should use...
Cállate. ¿No me deja poner allí?
I should...
A ver. Ah, que puedo rotarlo. Vale.
I should...
Frenos. Aquí. Tablón de madera. No.
So, now here we have the fake train that we saw approaching Evesham station last night.
Doesn't look much like a train to me.
Be patient, Watson, I haven't finished yet. Try using your imagination. Our train requires only a headlight and a steam whistle.
Voy a buscar un foco y un silbato. Foco. ¿Es un silbato? ¿Hay algo más que tenga que ver? Pértiga. Extintor. Creo que ya está, ¿no? A ver.
The long pole is now attached. It will. The
Foco
headlight is.
y el
steam
silbato.
whistle.
Holmes, what can we do to make the
El
steam whistle?
extintor.
It is elemental. The fire extinguisher. Now let us. First of all, let us pump. The steam whistle is.
Qué listo es este
Watson,
hombre,
I do
¿eh?
believe that we have created an exact replica of the train that vanished in front of us last night. The criminal mind can be most inventive. I am somewhat in awe.
So such a thing is possible. If someone went to all the trouble of creating this fake train, then it was surely with the intention of stealing the real one.
Ah, Watson, you should not jump to conclusions. In fact, this does not tell us very much at all, except that the train did not evaporate into thin air.
Although you half suspected it.
Watson, que eres
At any
imbécil.
rate, we now need to find where the real train might be hidden. I suggest we use my archives to find a more detailed map of our surroundings.
Well, I hope that
Archivos.
justifies our having to load your massive archive suitcase onto the cab. It made us extremely unpopular with our driver.
Vale. El tren nunca llegó a Evesham. Desapareció antes y alguien creó una ilusión con una destina y unas piezas de repuesto de tren de la estación de Chesterfield. Que es lo que he puesto antes. No pasó por Chesterfield. Es que todo se conecta. Voy por aquí. Sí. Hola, señor del carruaje.
Now we have two maps. We must combine them properly.
Combinarlos. Ay, uy, uy. Aquí. No. Ah. Tío.
Here it is. There is a side branch to the railway. Its first switch is located between Bridlington and Chesterfield stations. There is one more station to be visited. It is located between Chesterfield and Evesham, and there should be a side railway to the nearby quarry. There is a small section of a railway at the end of Evesham
Mucha
station.
cosa, ¿eh? ¿Dónde? Uno estaba aquí, el otro aquí y el otro aquí. Cambio de agujas.
The switch is rusted, but it still works. Mines. This is interesting. It would be quite possible for someone to redirect the train towards the mines.
Ahí. Pues vamos a las minas.
Here are the mines, Holmes. They appear to... This is an administrative panel. See what it says.
Bueno, gran cosa.
Watson, you are a gentleman, and gentlemen tend to carry handkerchiefs. Might I borrow yours?
And where is your own?
I haven't the faintest idea.
Very well. Here it is.
Hijo, pero desdoblaró, que irás más rápido.
WEA, coal. These mines belong to them. The distance between the tracks is about 4 feet 8 inches.
Oh, vale.
A lightly loaded vehicle came this way. There is a wooden beam lying on the rails. A small vehicle with wooden beams went down this way.
This mine has completely collapsed, Holmes.
It is curious, but to be truthful, I am not entirely surprised.
It's difficult to follow you, Holmes.
Uy, qué sonido. Caja metálica.
This box must be the safe. Let's open it.
Esta se ve más complicada, ¿eh? Está perfecto. Ah, vale.
The Mexican company Caracal and the Chilean Barcazas both want to buy the mines. I need more information.
Minecraft.
Perhaps Mycroft could help.
Y escríbele una carta. Que antes me dejaba hacer algo. Ay. Eso es un cuervo.
Someone removed these
Parece alguien
screws,
muriéndose.
most probably to take down the rails. A few feet of the rails have been dismantled.
¿Y qué quieres que te diga?
This is an unusual kind of paper, stiff and dry. It was used for a specific purpose. Let us look inside. Sawdust. I am almost certain it is a... Watson, could you assist, please? Do you have your pistol? Good. Fire at this package.
Hostia. No tiene retroceso el arma, ¿eh?
Dynamite.
Vaya. Las minas se demolieron para esconder el tren. No, porque han dicho que pasó algo... carruaje ligero. Digo, es un sabotaje, no el escondite. Que a lo mejor me estoy equivocando en todo, ¿eh? A ver, Watson. Tenemos que irnos aquí. A la estación de nombre Estación. Doncaster. Venga, hasta luego.
A funny character. He looks anxious.
And he is not an Englishman.
Que no es inglés.
This scent is familiar to me,
México, te lo digo
but
yo.
in order to recognize it,
A ver si este lo hago más rápido que el anterior.
a greenish-brown cigar with a strong aroma, a hint
México.
of peppermint. Ricardo.
You already know the name of this man? Holmes, you amaze me.
No, Watson, I refer to the cigar.
Mexicano.
It is a Ricardo Turrent, a Mexican cigar of an excellent quality. Quite an expensive one, too. This ashtray is full of ash and cigar stubs. A greenish-brown cigar with these ashes and cigar stubs.
That means that the
Con la
fellow spent
fumada.
several days here, judging.
Well concluded, my dear fellow. A man who smoked the Ricardo brand of Mexican cigar spent several long... Apparently, there was a conflict between the Mexicans and the Chileans.
Nadie se lo esperaba.
This ashtray is full of ash and...
A ver. Aquí no hay nadie en la estación. Una estación de nombre estación.
Newspaper articles on horse racing. Hurdle, steeplechase, and flat racing. He is...
betting slips for horse racing. The sums are quite impressive.
It can be an expensive vice. This man had probably used all his savings.
Se pone 2 libras. Telégrafo.
I asked Mycroft to find out some information on the WEA Coal Company. Here is his reply, and it is an interesting one.
Dos compañías, la chilena Barcazas y la mexicana Caracal, estaban interesadas en comprar las minas de carbones WEA. El consorcio mexicano Caracal había conseguido un acuerdo inicial y había preparado los papeles. No obstante, el grupo chileno Barcazas, con la ayuda de sus influyentes contactos, consiguió hacerse con el contrato final de la venta. Y ahora los que han desaparecido son los chilenos. Ahí lo dejo. Vaya por Dios. Los mexicanos no guardaban... No se lo cree nadie. Los chilenos. No. Los chilenos no. Aquí me tiene que salir otra. Ya saldrá. Pero eso no estoy de acuerdo.
A telegraph.
Ya, hijo, lo acabas de usar. ¿Dónde está?
Holmes, look. There's a flooded area over here.
I believe that the flooded area might be worth checking.
Bueno, yo estaba buscando al hombre, la verdad. A ver, primero. Vale.
Railway post bags. This post bag belongs to the station master.
Querida, te pido que confíes en mí por esta vez. Pronto tendré dinero de sobra para hacer frente al pago de la hipoteca. Es cuestión de días. Puedes seguir viviendo en la casa sin mí, si es esto tu deseo. Por favor, ten en cuenta que sigo preocupándome por ti y que espero que algún día me perdones, a pesar de todo el daño que te he hecho en los últimos daños. Hey, tuyo, Edward.
The station master appears to have found himself in some financial trouble.
En respuesta a su último aviso, me gustaría asegurarle que pronto haré frente a los últimos plazos del pago de mi deuda. Oh, muy bien. No iré a hablar contigo de tu hipoteca.
Watson, would you like some tea?
Esto es una... Ah, vale, lo de arriba. Ahora hablo contigo. Un momento.
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. John Watson. We are investigating the case of the vanished train.
Is that so? Well, good day, gentlemen. I am Mr. Duff, the station master of this station. I'll be happy to help you in any way I can, but there's not much that I can tell you about last night.
Tiene un acento raro, ¿no? Nostalgia. Yo no lo hubiese dicho, la verdad. Este es un descuidado de la vida.
It appears that you may be at risk of some flooding along the line here.
You mean that the whole bloody lake is at our feet?
Quite so. But it is strange, because according to my map, there should be a quarry here, and behind that, the lake.
How should I know? I only arrived here a few months ago.
And where did you work before that?
I was working in Nottingham, but I asked for a quieter place, so they transferred me here. Life is cheaper. I can't really complain.
Did any passengers leave or board the train last night?
No. I saw no one as usual. I reported the train's passage by telegraph, just the same as all the other nights.
Es francés, ¿no?
I observe that you are a gambling man, Mr. Duff. You had hoped that your relocation to this small town might have helped ease your addiction, but it was not to be.
I beg your pardon? Addiction to what?
Billetes para las carreras.
We found a number of horse racing tickets inside your office. Well, we all have our weaknesses. An expensive obsession, surely, for a station master.
It is none of your business. I occasionally attend the races with my colleagues. And anyway, that's my private life.
Sí, pero si te chantajean, hijo.
There was a gentleman of Mexican origin, I believe, in the waiting room. Did you notice him?
What? A Mexican? Here in the back of beyond? Are you quite sure about that?
Goodbye, sir. It is obvious that we cannot inspect the quarry. Instead, we can check the beach area around the flooded lake. Watson, it seems that both South American companies were involved in the purchase of the mine.
The man at Doncaster who fled our approach, he smokes Mexican cigars. Perhaps...
Yes, Watson. We should certainly speak with him.
A ver, ¿la playa es esto? Porque qué gran playa. ¿Me va a hacer lo
Please, sir,
mismo?
we would ask you not to leave. We have some questions.
Are you the police?
No, we are employed by the railway company. We are collecting witness statements about the train that disappeared last night.
Lo siento, I'm in a hurry.
Really? It seemed that you were waiting here for someone. Could you tell us if you were at the station last night?
No, I just arrived from South America.
A formidable journey, no doubt. Which country are you from?
De Chile.
Ah, es de Chile. Me ha engañado. Me ha engañado fuertemente. Arrugas. Artes marciales. Ojo. Pues sí, me has engañado, hijo.
Chile? But you are Mexican.
No, you are wrong. Why would you think I'm Mexican?
Por los cigarros. También te digo que da
Because
un
of
poco
your
igual.
cigars.
Sí, cigarrillos. So what?
Those cigars are the Ricardo brand, from Mexico. It is quite impossible to find them anywhere but there.
Pero not your business.
Que es mexicano.
I don't suppose that you are on vacation. What business brought you here?
I was to meet my fellow compañeros, who were due to arrive yesterday. They were on that damn train. I will stay here and hope that the authorities find them, or their bodies. It's now my responsibility to repatriate them.
Who authorized you to do that?
The company I work for.
Could you tell me the name of the company?
It's not your concern.
And what is your name?
Enough questions. Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Not a very friendly man, and he is lying. He said that he just arrived, but we know that he has been here for several days.
Dios. Sospechoso en... Aquí, la que no me cuadraba. Mexicanos furiosos. La compañía mexicana Caracal guardaba rencor al grupo chileno Barcazas porque los chilenos llevaban ventaja para la compra de las minas de carbones WA, a pesar del contrato preliminar de venta a nombre de los mexicanos. Entonces, trampa de los mexicanos. Los mexicanos tramaron el abandono de los chilenos en el tren. Por eso, Revisor obligó a apearse a todos los pasajeros menos el... Tiene sentido. Cantera negada. El tren pasó por la estación de Dos Cánster. El jefe de estación informó de ello. El tren nunca pasó por la estación... Esta. ¿Y esto con esto? No. Vale. No pasó por Doncaster, he dicho. Examina el ramal de Evesham. Aquí, la playa. Y lleva... El ramal que lleva a la cantera entre Chesterfield... ¿Y qué más? Y Evesham. Estoy aquí. Tengo que investigar. I don't understand, ¿eh? Esto. ¿Hay un camino? Ah, espera, que aquí hay un camino. Hay aquí.
This railway branch should lead to the quarry. Let us take a look. The switch is rusted, but it still works.
No. Me quedo aquí.
The rail is rusted and looks old, but the railway...
El pájaro estaba bastante mal hecho.
The railway ends here. That is strange.
Estos son los que cogieron y se llevaron no sé dónde. Quizá hundido. El tren podría haberse hundido en la cantera negada. No. Falta un tramo. Falta un tramo y además que eso no es tan profundo. Corre. ¿Qué va? Por aquí no ha pasado nada. Aquí no, tenía que ir. Entonces. No, no, no me quiero ir.
The entire train has disappeared. It's a disaster.
No, mira. A ver, este cambio de vías.
There was a building here not so long ago.
But I don't understand, Holmes. Why would anyone destroy the shed in such a manner?
It was disassembled in great haste. It is most odd.
Pues un poco sí. Rodadas. Rodadas de carromato. Rodadas de... El pesado me interesa.
Traces. Let's take a closer look. Nothing interesting here. Nothing.
A ver, chaval.
Nothing interesting.
Ah, vale.
The distance between the tracks is about 6 feet 7 inches. The vehicle would have been heavy. These traces are relatively fresh and were made by a large truck loaded with materials.
Después de cargarse esto. Y se fueron.
This road should lead to the town of Evesham.
Se va a Evesham. Me estoy perdiendo mucho. Iré a hablar con el hombre este, a ver si me resuelve algo.
It appears that there was a small warehouse near your station and that it was disassembled. Why is that?
It was burgled overnight about 2 weeks ago. The police have already started their investigation, but I doubt that they'll find anything.
What was inside the warehouse?
Nothing of value. A few 100 feet of standby rails and some spare railway parts. But it
Un
wouldn't be easy
mexicano.
to steal all of that. Why would anyone want to?
See you later, my good man.
Los mexicanos, seguro. Bien robado. Espera. Alguien robó... Vía la cantera. Alguien robó los raíles para cubrir temporalmente el tramo faltante de la vieja vía a la cantera negada. Hostia, pues no sé. ¿No era el mismo sitio? Yo creo que a las minas, ¿no? ¿Dónde está la cantera? No sé dónde está la cantera. A ver, yo estaba en Evesham. Desaparece aquí, pero es que yo creo que ya no pasó. Por aquí tampoco pasó, creo yo. Yo sí, creo que se fue para acá. Sí, porque la cantera creo que era esto, ¿no? Bueno, no lo sé.
Here we are at the beach that is
Sí, está en la
located near the
cantera.
quarry and Doncaster station. It doesn't look like a very good place to rest. These traces were made by carriage. Look. The distance between the tracks
Como el
is
otro,
about
como el de
6
Evesham.
feet 7 inches. The vehicle would have been heavy. The vehicle...
¿Qué más quieres que te diga? Ah, aquí. Que hay algo.
The vehicle pressed this stone into the ground. It would have been quite heavy. These traces are relatively fresh and were made by a large truck loaded with materials. The traces found at the disassembled shed near Evesham and at the lake were from the same vehicle.
Me parece muy bien, pero... O sea, ¿para qué no los raíles aquí como los pones?
An advertisement for lake cruises.
Así un bote.
An abandoned gypsy caravan. This place was abandoned fairly recently. Observing the coastline and the moored boats, we are able to see that the lake's water level dropped. The lake has flooded the quarry. The dam was probably breached.
¿Y esto qué me dice a mí? No sé dónde está el dique. Línea delgada, basura en la arena, placa de metal. A zarpas. Me suena.
A label with the name Las Zarpas.
Que lo miren los archivos. Aquí, las zarpas. Las barcazas y las zarpas son líderes en el transporte de mercancías pesadas. La marca Las Zarpas es propiedad del consorcio mexicano Caracal, con intereses en transportes, servicios de electricidad y minería.
Here it is.
Esto me tiene que solucionar cosas. Dios santo. Ay, no sé. Ya lo tengo todo. Madre de Dios. A ver. Chilenos ahogados. Fue asesinato premeditado. Los mexicanos mataron a los chilenos, hundiendo el tren en una cantera negada para ocultar su crimen. Justicia ciega. La poca humanidad de los mexicanos hacia los chilenos ha cegado muchas vidas. Hay que actuar rápido, contactar con la Estrada y permitir que la policía haga honor a su justicia sonora y veloz, aun a riesgo de provocar un conflicto internacional. Dejárselo a los políticos. No es posible enfrentarse directamente con una organización criminal como esta. Requiere una aproximación delicada, darle a Mycroft la oportunidad de resolver el conflicto, aunque el proceso se alargue, y lo use a su favor. Justicia ciega.
Then the case is solved, Holmes. What do you intend to do?
Well, I shall require assistance for the arrests. There were accomplices.
Ah, but I know that look. You have your own ideas. What are they, Holmes?
On the one hand, we have Mycroft and his tedious political games. He will locate the guilty parties without any trouble. But it will be a long and drawn-out process, and possibly with some compromise that will be to Mycroft's benefit. Our other option is the local constabulary, and advice from our friend Lestrade. The problem we have there is that the authorities seem to be incapable of acting quietly. They rely on brute force. It could result in an international scandal. All the same, I think that I prefer the forces methods. It would be better to resolve the case quickly and efficiently, without any talk of politics.
Let us go home, then. I'd like to begin writing a draft of this story.
I did not say that we had finished here yet.
Well, all right. What did I miss?
Watson, We know that the Barkazas Company directors were drowned in the flooded quarry, along with the train and Robinson's prototype. But we still need to corner the guilty party.
But how do you intend to prove... Oh no. Please don't tell me we have to dive into the lake.
Huh. You may rest assured that I have a far better idea. We have only to use our corrupt Doncaster station master as bait. He will unwittingly trap our Mexican friend.
Of course, you already had a plan. I shall follow you, Holmes.
Well, the case is solved, and we shall be heading home. And may we have 2 tickets to London, please?
Right away, wait a minute. You've solved the case?
In a manner of speaking, can you believe that the rescue service miraculously saved one of the Chileans who were on board the train? The police have ordered his immediate escort to London on the next train.
He pulled through, then? He's alive?
Yes, by extreme good fortune. His condition is quite serious, and the method of transportation has its risk, but he will be held securely by the doctor and police officers. The gentleman carries some vital information on this case. I am sure of it.
Ah, really?
Your station will be famous, Mr. Duff. The journalists will be here before you know it. Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
¿Cómo se calla? Watson, este es un mafioso, lo he dicho antes.
Gentlemen, you are under arrest.
Caramba! You traitor! You double-crossed me!
Santo.
Good shot, Watson. I always knew you were a talented marksman.
I didn't want another life lost in this case, Holmes.
Oh my God! I thought I was a dead man.
You shouldn't be so glad about it. You'll be up before the judge.
Your testimony will be of great importance to the investigation. I would remind you that your cooperation will be the best way to ease your sentence. By the way, Watson, would you be so kind as to give me some shooting lessons later on?
Yes, but not in our sitting room, and not with you wearing a blindfold.
Fue un crimen planeado al detalle. Los mexicanos mataron a los chilenos y hundieron el tren para ocultarlo. La fisura del dique jugó a su favor. Utilizaron sus barcazas para mantener el tren en marcha durante unos segundos y lo mandaron al fondo de la cantera negada. Luego quitaron las vías. La poca humanidad de los mexicanos hacia los chilenos llegó muchas vidas, así que... vale. Había que actuar rápido. Lestrade será informado. Y hemos acertado. Perfecto. Y baños de sangre al siguiente vídeo.